What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Washed Up. You got two washed up guys here. One guy is not washed up. He's in the prime. Just kidding. Egor is not in his prime. He's going to be entering his prime in the NBA.
Just keeps getting
But
better and
we've
better.
been trying to get what's that? Yeah, just up from here. We've been trying to get Egor for a while. As you guys can imagine, he has been just a little bit busy the last I don't know. I mean, if you count like when you step foot on Provo, whatever day that was last summer, you've had a crazy like 18 months.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, starting from when I just got to Provo, it was all about, how can we get ready for the season? And then the game started, and it's a different traveling schedule for me coming from Europe, obviously. And then, stepping into the pre-draft process is a way different story also.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's kind of where I want to start. Oh, go ahead, Teach.
no, you got it, dude.
I was just gonna say that's kind of where I wanted to start. Obviously you've touched base with Cougar Nation. We know you're coming back to Utah a little bit when you can, but it does feel like, at least for me, I haven't heard a ton about that whole process, right? Like leading up to the draft, outside of just following you on Instagram. So I want to start with the workouts. What was that process like? How many workouts did you have? What was your workout like with Brooklyn, if you had one? And the combine, just the whirlwind. TJ and I both know what that world is like. Well, I guess TJ less because he got bad timing with COVID. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. Bad timing with COVID, but I did that pre-draft work process. I did 16 workouts. I know how killer they are. What was it like for you?
Yeah, so I mean, for me, I think it started a little bit earlier. Talking about after the Sweet 16 and the season end. Obviously, I had to take some break, but then right until the June starts, I was in LA all these whatever 2 months maybe whatever it was.
Yeah.
Crazy work, right, to get ready for those workouts.
Yep.
Because obviously those workouts is not really to get ready for the draft, is more like to show yourself, as you guys said, that, right? So I mean, it was a lot of focus on some of the things that were questioned during the season, and it was a lot, obviously. So it was a lot of work, not just basketball, but lifting, which was probably one of the main focuses. How can I get in the best conditions for those workouts? Because majority of those workouts are based on conditioning, which is honestly, I don't know how it helped. Well, I understand how it helps people to understand how good of a player I am, but at the same time, it's like, okay, somebody just finished their seasons, right? Somebody's coming from Europe, and some of the guys haven't finished season until the draft, right? My friend from Real Madrid, Hugo Gonzalez, he haven't had any workout because he was in the season.
Yeah, that's wild.
So it's pretty crazy. And well, obviously for me, we had everything planned, and it was a huge research time of what could be my potential spot on the draft, where who's interested, who's not, who's trying to talk to me, and things like this, right? Way before the draft combine starts, right? And then when was the draft combine?
Great question. Sometime in May, usually, right?
May, right? Yeah.
April or May, yeah.
It was the very first thing I needed to get prepared for, and for my pro day that I had over there in Chicago, which we chose it because, well, a lot of players actually make doing the pro days somewhere separated, but it makes it more complicated for people to come watch them. Obviously, it was, logistic wise, it was easier for coaches and the front office to see me because everybody were there already.
Yep.
And it was one of probably the main events during all this process. I think that was the main and kind of the starting point for everything, where I could really show that I've been working on some of those weaknesses that people seen during the season. Talking about shooting, talking about, dribbling, whatever it is, finishing. I showed pretty much everything I couldn't do really well during the season.
Yeah,
Totally.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
I agree.
Yeah, I remember you shot really well at the combine. You mentioned, I'm gonna let TJ jump in here, but I have to throw this out there. When you say these workouts are just conditioning workouts, I remember one in particular, San Antonio. You know this, you do like layup lines for like 20 minutes sometimes, right? Like they just want to see your creativity. They want to see your handle kind of in a nonchalant setting. And then they want to see your finishes over like, there's some coach with like a big tall pad, And so we're doing these finishes from half court. There's just 6 of us. And we missed like 10 layups in the course of 20 minutes. And for every layup, before the workout even started, that was kind of our warm up. And then we had to run a ladder for every single miss that we had before the warm up, before the practice started. And so like as soon as they hit us with that, we were like, oh my gosh. And I will not name his name. Actually, I will. It was Luke Cornett, who was on the Celtics for a long time. I swear he missed like 8 of the 10. And we had to run for every single one before the workout even started. And then you're gassed because you're just trying to kill each other 3-on-3 basically for 90 minutes. And you're already tired because you just ran sprints and you're nervous and there's all the adrenaline. So I when you say like, oh man, these are basically conditioning workouts, like it is not an exaggeration. Like they want to see, did you prep? Are you in elite shape? And did you work on the things that your feedback, everyone was telling you to do, which obviously you did. That's how you get picked, right?
Yeah. I think it's a lot on more even just like to see how serious you are about the process. And
100%.
how are you prepared for these tests, or you just like, well, we'll see how it goes, and then you come and you cannot do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
we had a guy in Milwaukee. We were playing 3-on-3. He started puking like 5 minutes into the workout. Like it's like, okay, that guy's done. Like it's over. He's never got a chance. So yeah, not prepared. Sorry, TJ, go.
Maybe you should have missed 8 layups in the workout. You'd be on the Celtics right now.
Seriously, I've been getting a max contract.
No, I mean we're talking all about you prepping for these workouts, prepping, making sure that showing that you care, showing that it means something to you. I would imagine that's a big reason why you chose BYU, why you chose to be with Coach KY and his experience in the league. How did he help you? How did BYU help you prep for these workouts?
Yeah, I think I like the question a lot because it's something that was a really part of my preparation. Like I've never stopped talking to KY. Even now, obviously, it's not, we both busy, and I can't even imagine how busy he is because it's brand new team almost.
Yep.
And I mean, everybody's really excited, so the season should be even more excited probably. Not trying to put the pressure on anybody, but
we live for the pressure. We love it.
Yeah, I mean, he was always, online for me, and he was helping me with all the things, and he obviously was talking to the teams, and teams was talking to him, and it's something that sometimes could help me to understand, some of the details that I couldn't expect without having KY on my side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some things that are teaching points that are going to help me in a future workout that I should be prepared for, and it could raise my stock, right? And those details, I believe they are really matter a lot during this process because everybody know already what you can do on the court, right? But some of the details, let's say Miami Heat, right? I got to the workout. I go to the locker room, I see my uniform, and I see knee pads. And I'm like, what am I even supposed to do? Like, are the workouts that hard? Like, are they gonna make me dive? Like, and this workout was 1-0. I was alone, and I had to wear knee pads, but it's a part of the culture. And those details, obviously, if you know what is it for, you're gonna be prepared for it, right? And you're not gonna show up without them, and they're gonna send you back to the locker room to put them on. Things like this, I think it's important that KY really helped me with, not, exactly with this example, but in general.
Yeah.
And obviously he knows how this process work from the inside. So he was a great help for me, and many other coaches too. That's for sure.
Yeah, what I like love most about that is that you're like, we still talk. There's so much of like KY actually cares about you as an individual, as a player, because you can see it across sports. It's like, if I need you, you're my guy. But once I don't, like, good luck in the rest of your life, and
Yeah.
that totally says a lot that he still wants to help you. He still wants to see your success. I think that says a lot about KY. That says a lot about the program, um, and
It's
that's super exciting.
I mean, I think that's about the culture at BYU. I think that's how, BYU and BYU athletes build relationships and together with coaches, right, with fans. And I think that's a big, big part and very important part of the organization, right, of BYU in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love. I mean, we just had lunch with Tom Homo a couple weeks ago, and he said something about this. He was like, "What it's going to come down to is people figuring out the money and NIL and rev share, and that becomes the norm, right? Like right now, you have a lot of schools struggling, and hopefully, it gets to the point where everyone's kind of figured it out. It comes down to who's going to recruit the best, who's going to have the best connection with their players, who's going to have a resume like this where players are being drafted and in good situations and helped by their experience at the school, and then have an incredible connection with the coach after the fact. So I think it's exciting. It's funny you mentioned the Heat. Did you meet Justin Hamilton? Have you been around the program since he's started help? He's either a graduate assistant or just kind of helping coaching, but he's a local guy. He played at Lone Peak before TJ and I got there, Lone Peak High School. But he got drafted by the Heat. He told me, I don't know if you've ever heard this, TJ. He told me, and now you know because you've done a Heat workout, and I did a workout with them. I did summer league with them, so I get it. He got drafted by them. He told me that he's convinced he got drafted because his shoes and his bag got lost for his workout, and he's got like size 19 or 18 or whatever, so they didn't just have shoes for him. So he wore his dress shoes that he had on him from the interview part of the workout, and they loved it. Like he was running sprints, he was diving on the floor, and he was wearing dress shoes. Like,
Hey,
so
that's
like
no, that's
he are
100%.
those guys are crazy.
Yes.
They probably did draft him because of that, and I love that. Like I love
And,
that. So I thought it
no,
was funny that you brought up the knee pads. The knee pads catches everybody off guard.
for sure. And I think that's what these teams are looking for.
Yeah.
My very first workout was OKC.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what, how's it going to be like? Like, I don't know anything, right? First of all, I was shocked how there's not nobody in Utah, sorry, in OKC. There's no cars, no people. I
Yeah,
was
that's a
like,
weird
man.
one. Yeah.
And then, so we got to the gym, and everybody who's walking have their shirts tucked in, and they like, yeah, you're not walking around the gym without, with your shirt out. Like that's just not what you're doing. Like you can't, you know. So, and I think this is where, talking about OKC, who were last year champions,
Yeah.
there's a lot of rules that might not make any sense, but then, this team wins the championship
Yep.
and nobody even know about it.
Yep.
I think, and coming back to the workouts, all these workouts were way different from each other, which I wasn't expecting it. I actually was like, I was sitting before it and I was, man, how is it gonna, like, how are they even making it different? It's probably gonna be all the same, right? Like warm
Right.
up, 3-on-3, whatever, depending on if it's group or not group. And for me, so we plan to do 5 to 6 to 7 workouts, and they all were supposed to be 1-on-0. I end up doing 14, and 3 of them were 1-on-0.
Wow.
And actually, the 3 ones that 1-on-0, they were so hard, and I was like, I couldn't understand how people actually do a lot of 1-on-0 workouts because it wasn't possible.
That's hard.
Sorry, my very first one wasn't the OKC. My very first one was Atlanta, and they killed me. talking about like full court one-on-ones against, you know, the former player who's literally a dog. Like he's crazy. Like haven't never like he's better than JL
Right.
guarding the ball. It's crazy. Like
Don't tell him that.
Don't tell, yeah, don't tell Jay that, but yeah,
I
I know.
mean,
Know
all
what you mean.
respect, man, but this dude was crazy, and it's like full court press, and then I guard somebody else who's really good in offense, and
Right.
like 10 times in a row, you know, and then conditioning shoot like stuff like this, and it was like my very first workout, so I was, and obviously, you know, I can do whatever I want to do by myself in the gym. When you actually work out with a team, it's a little bit different story, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, and all the workouts were different. Every team had something special about it, right? And obviously the team practices with the where it's like six guys, six of
Mm-hmm.
us, right? We played 3-on-3 or we played 5-on-5 with the other coaches and things like this. It was really fun, honestly. And this is where I think I could really show myself because I can be a teammate, right? Which I think that's my one of the biggest advantages,
Yeah.
right? Not you know all these guys I've seen during this draft. Not many of them were you know we're able to really be a good teammate, just from the standpoint of like talking and you know trying to help each other because it's almost like a competition. Not almost,
Yep.
it's a
It
competition,
is.
right?
It's cutthroat.
And it's not always what they're trying to see, I feel like,
Yeah.
because obviously they you know they're, as I said, they know already who you are as a player. They want to see from the inside, right? How are you thinking? Where is your leadership abilities, right? What is your communicational abilities? How can you
Yep.
be, you know, a part of the team and part of the group, not just, hey, that's about me. I kill you, all of you, even if you're in my team. So it was really interesting to see all of these players and really build some relationships and have some friends. Honestly, like I have a lot of friends from those workouts right now.
Yeah.
I
That's
think it's
cool.
really cool.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
sweet.
awesome. It's crazy that like you can go from one workout to the next, and they all have their different spin. You also see like why some organizations win a lot and why others don't, right? Like just down to the details. Like everyone has their shirt tucked in. Like Miami, like their video coordinator is taking this very seriously, all the way up to the general manager. Like they're there grinding all day. So yeah, that's really really cool. Kind of flipping because we've just got about 5 minutes. Flipping to BYU, you know, I'd love to hear your favorite memory. This last year was awesome, right? Like as former players and also just as fans, like we had such a good time. TJ and I went to Denver. TJ went and saw you guys in the Sweet 16. You know, I would imagine that you expected the greatest year ever. That's why you came here, and that's why you wouldn't go somewhere thinking you were going to have a bad year, right? You had an unbelievable individual year. You guys had such a awesome tight core group that performed well and went really really far. What was like a favorite memory for you looking back on that season with the Cougars?
Yeah, you know, like before everything, I just like, man, I miss it so much. Not
Yeah,
like I'm hating it here. Okay,
for sure,
don't take it wrong,
for
but
sure.
it's
It's
just
different.
way it's way different. It's
Yeah,
you know, it's a job here, right?
yeah,
At BYU, it's something that you know you really live by, right? If I can say it this way.
hmm,
And it's a big group and it's a big family, which is I think it's really hard to build in an NBA, right? And I think those champion teams, this is how they get there because they become closer than just a business
hmm,
partners, right?
hmm.
So, and coming back to BYU, um, I can't really tell what was my like one, you know, one biggest memory. I just think I really love the way how we were able to build up from kind of, you know, a mass at the very start and, you know, talking about very early stage of the season, right? When we started from five lost games or something like this.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then we really be like, okay, we sit down in the locker room, and we like, okay, what are we doing? Like, there's two options. Or we keep doing the same thing and we just do whatever, always want, or we get together and figure it out, right? And we were figuring it out every day. And I think this is where this phrase from KY, stacking days, right, came from. Just because we were trying to do the same thing every day, that was making us so much better. And it was making like those little steps, accomplishing goals to the point where we were like a family, and we were really focused on the group result. And for me, like, I wasn't coming to BYU as one and done. I never was, saying like, hey, coach, like, I'm out of here next year, right?
Yeah.
I was there to help the program, and as long as I'm helping program helping me. And this is what happened, right? We had a great season. Hopefully I had some impact to it, right?
Yeah, maybe a
And
little. Maybe a little.
I mean, well,
That's
but
good.
but what I'm trying to say is that the group and organization impacted me probably so much more than I did.
That's
And
cool.
that's what I'm really grateful for, because
Yeah.
all this process that we went through, it wasn't just for BYU, it was for each of us, right?
Yep. Yep.
And somebody got like something good out of it.
Yep.
And it's a great point to, get to the new season for everybody.
Yeah. I love what you said, because I think so many basketball players, and maybe, just athletes in general, get this twisted. You're like, I help the program, we win games, like the program helps me. And like that, that is so true, that it's like, if we just go focus on winning basketball games, like, we're all going to get what we want out of this. And I think too often guys are just like, I'm going to get mine, I'm going to do my own thing. And that's when teams just like fall apart. And if you can really just be bought into this whole idea of like, we are going to win games, and then everything else will take care of itself as long as I'm helping us win games. And you go and get drafted as a lottery pick, and it's like,
100%.
we just focus on winning. And you could see it that whole year with your team. It was like, yeah, we had some struggles at the beginning. You guys it's a new team, we're trying to figure things out, but you guys just got better every single week, and you could just see it improving. And then by the time March rolls around, you guys are peaking at the right time. And you could just see that team come together, and it's super fun, and it's super cool to hear that perspective. Maybe one final question here, but moving on to this year with the Cougs, I imagine you'll be following all year and keeping a close eye on these guys, and probably talking to a bunch of those guys on a weekly basis or whatever. But
Well, that's for sure, man.
how are you feeling about this year's team? Give us your take on the Cougs this upcoming season.
I mean, it's exciting. I think that's, the first thing that comes to everybody's head. And I mean, there's a lot of expectations from the fans, right? And from the people from outside. And I'm not, I'm assuming that from the inside, there's also a lot of expectations. But, I just want them to enjoy, same as we did last year, right? And just to approach it the right way, really, looking for the process and enjoy the process, not the, whatever it looks like. Just being able to build this group up and have some fun, right? Obviously, super excited to see about the new guys, AJ, Rob. That was amazing last year playing against Baylor and Rob. He almost killed us.
Mhm.
That was
Yeah.
scary. It
Yeah.
was scary. And I mean, I don't have to talk much about AJ. Everybody, super excited about seeing him, and, not forgetting about other guys. Obviously, that's really, really exciting for me. And I'm a big fan of Richie for this next season. That's for sure. I'm going to be wearing Richie Saunders jersey one game.
The tater tot king. Come on, let's
Oh
go.
yeah. Oh yeah. People
That's
here don't
awesome.
know about it. I will let them know here. We'll make sure they
That's
know
good.
about Richie Saunders.
That's good. Well, Yegor, we wanted to respect your time. We know it's late over there, but thank you for coming on. We know you're busy. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate the amount of time and effort and love you put into the season last year. It was such a fun year to watch, and and your success uplifted so much the program. Like you being drafted number 8 was amazing, right? Like, because it proves what everyone was thinking was possible with this new era of college sports and with KY being involved in it at BYU. So just know that we're rooting for you. Cougar Nation, as you know, is rooting for you. It looks like you'll be here at the end of January to play the Jazz, which I'm sure you're going to have a lot of Cougar fans come to Salt Lake for that. But dude, we're excited for you. We're cheering you on. We'll be following this year. So thanks for hopping on
Thank you
with
so
us.
much, man. Really appreciate it, guys. Really
Appreciate
All
you,
right,
brother.
brother. Okay. Good luck coming up. You got
All
a
right.
couple games. We'll see you.
Thank you. See ya.
Okay. I'm gonna boot him right there. I almost made us leave the studio instead of
Show's
having
over.
him leave the stage, which would have not been good. What a guy!
Dude.
I think he's in the lobby right there. But really, that is crazy. Like him having the success that he had in the workouts and the combine and the draft, and then getting drafted number 8, and then being on this young team with this young core, and I just knowing what I know about him and knowing from the little bit of interaction that we've had in person, like he's gonna be one of the leaders of that young group, and that is amazing for BYU, right? Like when's the last time we had somebody like that, like core part of an NBA team? I mean, kind of Jimmer wasn't in the greatest situation. I don't know if he was considered core group, right? Like,
right,
because Sacramento is a crappy organization, but like it's been a while, and so it's super, super cool.
I know, it's so cool to hear like his maturity. He's young. He's super young, dude.
Yeah.
And to just hear like his perspective on last year's season, his summer workouts, all this stuff, like he doesn't sound like he's a one-year guy in college and off to the league, he's that's a very mature perspective, and that's going to benefit him a ton this rookie season. I just think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got
100%.
great people in his corner that are telling him the right
100%.
things, and he's gonna kill it this year. It's gonna be fun, and he sees the greater picture. He sees like, I just got to keep getting better. That's all that matters. And he's gonna do that.
It truly is all that matters, man. Every you talk about PTSD. When I start talking about pre-draft workouts, holy cow! That week that I was telling you with the Spurs and the Heat, that was the same week. I had a workout on Monday in Atlanta, on Tuesday in San Antonio, and San Antonio got murdered. Like really, really hard workout. San Antonio, Boston, and Miami are kind of like notoriously tough workouts. So then Tuesday was San Antonio, flew to Miami, had a break on Wednesday in Miami. Thank the Lord I did. Worked out in Miami on Thursday, died. It was just 4 of us. I basically got in a boxing match with Bam Adebayo, like their player for the next however many years. Like, and friggin' GM, whatever his name is, was sitting right there on the side while I'm scrapping with their future franchise player. And then Friday was Golden State, and then Saturday Sacramento called and was like, "Hey, do you want to do a second workout?" And so it's like, dude, 5 workouts in 1 week, and they are the hardest thing you've ever done. While he was talking about it, and I was thinking about some of my stories, I'm like, they have to film those. Like, the way that they've done this thing with the quarterbacks on Netflix and now with the basketball players on Netflix, I'm like, don't release it immediately, obviously, because you have some people that are doing some really big time decision making based off of this intel. But I'm like, people have no idea how hard those workouts are, how cutthroat they are. Like I was in multiple workouts where guys were just like screaming at each other because they just wanted to win, and they wanted to win the 3-on-3, and they wanted to prove, like, if I have one regret, if I could go back, I would have done some Justin Hamilton stuff. Like,
just worn your dress shoes.
Dude, literally. I have this thought where I had a really good workout with Golden State, and the ball was bouncing out of bounds, and Draymond was sitting with Lacob, whatever his name is, their GM at the time, and a couple coaches. I don't think Kerr was there, and the ball was bouncing towards him, and I thought to dive for that ball and just like take Draymond out. And I should have done it. Like I should have done it. Like I was already
until
having
you
a great
break his
workout.
leg and they're like, oh my gosh.
But like that's the thing is like, and most young players don't even realize this. And this is a very roundabout way to get to my point. This is why KY is so incredible, because I didn't know those things, right? I wasn't asking probably the right questions either. You know, I was just felt totally naive in the situation. But when you have guys who have just been in that world, like KY is telling Egor, they don't really care how many shots you make. They care, right? Like you have to make shots. But if you dive into Draymond to save a ball and then start like talking mess to Draymond for being in the way or whatever, like they'll know you're a lunatic. They'll know you're a lunatic, and you have to be a lunatic to stick in that league. So I just think it's really cool. KY is getting these guys ready on levels that you know very few others can prepare them. So pretty dope.
Yeah, no, it's sweet. BYU's got a good thing going, and this is going to continue. It's like the guys that come out of BYU, they're ready to go. Like they're mature. They have a good head on their shoulders. Like they're going to figure this out. It's that narrative's just going to continue.
Yeah, I agree. One thing, I feel great. Egor just texted us, said he loved it and he wished we wouldn't have stopped. I felt the same. We could talk with Egor for an hour. We only talked about pre-draft. I wanted to talk about the draft. I wanted to talk about so many other things, but that's a good kid, dude. That's a good kid.
We'll have to have him on again and just talk death stories.
Yeah, I've got, man, that one in Milwaukee. Actually, Wiz was there. I wonder if he'd remember that. He saw thousands of workouts. He probably wouldn't remember that. But this dude was hurling during 3-on-3. So of course, I was on the team with one other guy. So we played 3-on-2. But like that's what I'm talking about. Like I wish I would have just been chirping, you know, like just yelling at the guy, puking, telling him he wasn't ready, like saying we're still gonna win. Like that's what they want to see, you know. So I could talk about this for days. That's
now
why
you just do that to me. You just do that to me every day in the office.
I know. I'm really just trying to make up for the chirping I should have done 10 years ago.
I walk in the office, you're like, what is that shirt? That's the ugliest shirt I've ever seen. Like, get out of the office, bro.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. Man, next week, who do we have next week?
I think Nick Emery.
I think we might have a little combo. Nick Emery and Marcus Page get a little UNC, get a little UNC preview. Nick, we can kind of throw on the calendar whenever. That's our guy, you know. So we'll just kind of see what works for his schedule. But yeah, we'll be here next week. Thank you guys for being here, and go Cougs.
Let's go.